The next criteria, how we can distinguish the attachment style is how is the person in the relationship, what's going on there. So, with people with secure attachment style, as we already mentioned it, they're very balanced. So they keep taking care of their own life, hobbies, career. They also put effort into their relationship. They keep taking care of themselves. They also take into consideration the needs of the other person, put effort. Also, sometimes they can give a bit more than the other person, but they're not constantly measuring how much I give, how much I receive, because they know that usually there's some times where I can give more, then there will be times where my partner gives more, and this is normal. So it's not constantly measuring or constantly try to win over the partner. They're very balanced, supportive, again, human as well. They have their flaws as well, but usually they try to um, also see what the other person wants and take care of their own needs as well. So it's they always try to have a like win-win to be good for both. When it comes to anxiously attached people in the relationship, they're focused on the other person. They forget about their needs. They don't take care of themselves, and they kind of expect for the other person to take care of all of their needs without them saying anything. They're constantly focused on the partner, which can be overwhelming for the other person. They don't do this, of course, on purpose. It's just their emotional brain taking over, and in some way they believe that if they are not constantly focused on the partner, they might go away, something bad might happen. So they always need to watch out and focus on the partner. When they have a really hard time communicating when something is wrong, usually they just say nothing, let it build up, and then explode. Generally, anxiously attached people tend to lose themselves in relationships. They tend to forget who they are, what they like, what's important for them. And at the same time, it can happen that a person is very good in their career, very successful, self assured, they know what they want, they know what they know, um, really developing their career in a wonderful way, and at the same time at home, overly focused on the partner, anxious, insecure, and constantly relying on the partner to make them feel better. So it can be different. It's not in all areas of life. It's like this always. It can be that someone with career success, confident, also very good relationships with friends. In the relationship, they tend to get then anxious. Relationship, the avoidant person tends to focus mostly on themselves, um, not because they don't care about the other person actually, but because they don't know what to do. Um, Usually, they do have the space to support a bit, to do something for the other person, but they tend to think that no matter what I do, it won't be enough, so why try at all? They expect that the other person will have such huge expectations that they're never going to fulfill them, they're never going to satisfy them. So that's why they just keep focusing on career, on other stuff. And especially with partners who cannot name exactly what they need, they just don't know what to do. They don't do it. They just keep going. They just focus on other areas, and often they're surprised when all of a sudden their partner explodes or starts demanding or starts nagging them, and they don't know how to react. And it can happen that they just walk out of the relationship. As for the disorganized attachment style, depending on the person they're with, they usually adjust to the person they're with. So if they're with someone who is more anxious, they tend to go more towards the avoidant side by keeping some distance, focusing on career or other areas of their life. If the partner tends to be a bit more avoidant, they may start clinging on to them, wanting more attention, overly focusing on the partner, constantly wanting something from the partner as well. Depending if they have a more secure partner, they might calm down a bit, but usually it feels really uncomfortable to be with someone who is calm and confident and doing their own thing and there for them. So it's not something they know, so it feels really scary. And they might start, I want intimacy, no, I don't want it, I want closeness, no, I need distance. So sooner or later, without them working on themselves, they always end up in this dynamic back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, this ambivalence. And the last criteria, how we can distinguish which attachment style we have, is how do you deal with conflict? Securely attached person, the moment something doesn't feel right, they name it. They can regulate their own emotions, take their time, decide when is a good time to talk about it. They can share what's going on for them, what they need, what doesn't feel right to them. They're also open to hear what's going on for the other person, what the other person needs, and they try to find a solution that works for both. Usually, when there is a problem, they want to work on it, they want to make it better. So that they can improve and build the relationship. That's their attitude. Of course, it won't always work. Some relationships, it's not working. This is okay. Then they go on to the next one, but they still try to make it work. Like not bending over backwards to make it work, but naming what's going on, naming what they need, being open to hear what the other person needs, and trying to find a common ground. And they're okay to compromise, and they're okay to put effort in order to make it work. If there are, of course, signs that it can work, that the other person is also willing to work on it. But generally, they do take responsibility, how the relationship is going, they name problems, they solve them, and they build. They're not afraid of having disagreements. They want to work them out. The anxiously attached person, it's very difficult for them to name when something is wrong. Usually they don't say anything, they just suppress it, suppress it, suppress it, suppress it because they don't want to upset the other person. They tend to people please a lot, but the thing is, when something's not right for them and they just suppress it, at some point it's so much that they just explode. And the moment they explode, it's about saying everything that was wrong for the past 2, 3, 4 years and ventilating a lot. And it's very difficult to solve the actual problem. When this happens, they don't have the space so much to hear the other person, and they can go into blaming. So it's your fault. It's not my fault that I didn't say anything for 3 years. It's all your fault. You needed to figure it out without me saying anything. So that's a bit the attitude. They don't know how to handle conflict. They get really overwhelmed with emotions, and it's very difficult for them to solve it. The avoidant attachment style, they also don't like conflict. They don't understand why someone wants to bother them with problems. Um, Usually, like they just want to have peace and quiet, and don't understand, especially if they have an anxious partner, why she or he exploding right now, what's going on. I don't understand. So it's difficult for them to handle conflict usually. They are also not ones to say directly what's going on, what they need, how to solve things. And if someone goes into such a conversation at not a good time or with exploding, they can walk out the door. So solving their conflict is just getting out of the situation. That's usually their strategy, and then pretending nothing happened, not addressing it. Maybe it will solve itself somehow without them addressing it. The organized attachment style, they have a hard time going into conflict and solving problems in the relationship in general. At the same time, they tend to create quite some conflict and drama and explosions because on one hand they have a lot of extremes in them, so they can be huge people pleasers, suppressing their emotions, and then being really pissed off. Why are you bothering me right now? Like, it was such a calm evening. Why are you making a fuss right now? I just wanted to calm down. What's the problem? I don't understand. So, um, again, depending on the partner, depending on the situation, depending on the time of the relationship, they can react in a different way, but usually sitting in a calm manner, expressing what they need, saying directly what's going on for them. If they haven't worked on it, naturally it won't come out like this. They will either explode or go out the door, usually slamming the door, very dramatic exit of the situation. So it's very difficult for them to handle conflict and work on problematic situations as well. Now that you maybe have an idea what your attachment style is, in case you want to make sure, you can take the quiz, which is in the comments of this video, or you can leave me a comment with the question, or also what you want to learn next. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.